Hello. This article was submitted by Patreon supporter Alex Talk. The article was in newsone.com. 1 step forward, 10 steps back. San Francisco's first black mayor, black woman mayor, unseated by rich white man. And what happened? So the mayor, Ed Lee, died. The San Francisco mayor, Ed Lee, died. And London Breed became the first black woman mayor of San Francisco. Pretty progressive city. It's amazing it's taken this long for that to happen. So then what happened was there was a 6-3 vote by the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, and they voted her out for a rich white guy who was a rich venture capitalist. Mark Farrell won the office. So, and when this happened, there was protests, and which makes sense. And I'm sure there's I don't know the players involved here. I'm sure there's a fair amount of racism, but what I know for certain is that rich venture capitalist, right there. We know this from all the stuff we talk about on this show and all the other independent media that you folks watch. You know, when there's a corporate politician, that corporate politician is going to win. Or they're going to do whatever they can to get that corporate politician in there. So this obviously was put to a vote. You see how they do this? It's like net neutrality. Like, how many? 8 people voted on net neutrality or whatever. 9 people voted on the mayor of San Francisco. And I'm sure that they, this is when somebody dies and the interim mayor, and then shouldn't then the interim mayor get to run in a general election? So they figured out a way to get her out of there so that we could put the venture capitalist person in there. So I hope that it's not a very long article, but it shows that you got to pay attention, and you have to then vote this guy out and run a real progressive against this guy, this corporate dude. That's what you got to do. You got to run a real progressive against this guy, because he's going to have to run in a general election. He might have weaseled in this way, and it doesn't surprise me. So San Francisco is a fantastic city, and it has been overrun by the tech companies. I have friends of mine that most of them have had to move out of the city of San Francisco. People who have been living there 10, 15, 20 years of their whole lives, because it is just too expensive. They have priced everybody out. It's ridiculous, San Francisco. And you don't want to see the city lose its charm, but this is what they do. So they got a rich venture capitalist. Well, we need a venture capitalist as the mayor, because San Francisco has long been a very progressive, even many ways socialist city. It's a very diverse city. I always call it's a California Manhattan. And it's a city that has always been, the majority of the citizens are politically active, and they're trying to vote for housing regulations and all this other stuff. So of course, then what they're going to do, the wealthy people are going to put a VC capitalist in there, big venture capitalist, big money guy, who then is going to make sure that he circumvents the will of the people and allows developers to come in, allow people to raise their rents, allows people to get out the poor and get out the homeless and get out just affordable housing. Just push out the middle class and make San Francisco just like what happened in Manhattan. And this is just another way that they do it. So it's unbelievable, And what was amazing about this was, this just happened in December, right? On December 12th, this was the article. San Francisco's mayor Ed Lee died of an apparent heart attack on Tuesday morning at age 65, making London Breed the acting mayor, the first black woman to serve as the city's executive, right? Breed steps into the interim role with impressive credentials. The native San Franciscan was raised in the projects by her grandmother. The longtime community leader, corporate state doesn't like that, won the election of the city's Board of Supervisors in 2012. Her colleagues close to her serve as president of the board in 2015. After winning re-election to the board in 2016, Breed was unanimously chosen by the other board members to continue serving as president. Breed holds a bachelor's degree from the University of California, Davis, in political science with a minor in African American studies. And she went on to earn a master's in public administration from the University of San Francisco. Her political career started with an internship under former Mayor Willie Brown in the Office of Housing and Neighborhood Services as the board's president. She oversees a $10 million budget and more than 30,000 employees. Breed is passionate about her public service. She has taken fire for her no-nonsense approach to tackling issues. Uh-oh, you spoke up against the corporate state. An expletive-laden social media post in 2012 got her in hot water, but she's learned to take a different approach that's still effective, the newspaper said. The board must vote to officially make Breed the temporary mayor. She's expected to get their approval. Breed would serve out Lee's term until June 2018 election. They couldn't even let a black woman, sounds like a progressive, be mayor for 6 months. See this? Expected to get their approval. They voted her down. The vote voted her down. And what happened was people protested. A large group, I'll read the article, there was a huge, people then protested and had to be removed. The dust-up peaked with protests largely by black women supporters who denounced the vote as racist and regressive. Breed, who was also board president, had worked her way from public housing to City Hall to get a seat at the table only to have the seat taken. Doesn't that pattern sound familiar? Breed's ouster will arguably be another racial flashpoint in San Francisco's history. Why does a step forward lead to a step back for black women and men? This is, yeah. I don't deny that there's racism in here. There also is just, it's money. And if she's speaking up, they can't have politicians like that are actually serving the will of the people. They need corporate people in there. So this new guy then is only interim mayor until June of 18. So I hope that London Breed runs against him. That's what I would do. Like today, once you got voted out by this board of bullshit, I'd put a campaign together and run, because you'll win. You'll beat this rich asshole. He'll spend a bunch of money, but you'll run on actual platforms. He'll run on corporate platitudes and talking classes and blah, 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 gesticulate about how I can help my billionaire buddies. And you talk passionately as you have, London Breed, and I suspect you'll win. So I'll be covering more of this, I'm sure. Alex Talk, thank you so much for being a Patreon supporter and submitting this article.